Well, here I am. I found another surprise. The dirty driving here. Somebody actually yanked the crank, and they actually wrung the bolt off that holds the crank handle into the control panel. So it looks like it's wrung off flush in there. I might be able to drill it and put an easy out in there and get the thread out if it's not in there too tight. Now I'm going to pull the control panel apart and see what it attaches to see if there's anything broke inside there. Okay, well, now we're inside the control panel, and this is the yank it crank mechanism. And I found the end of the broken off bolt, and it actually goes through here and screws into the bottom of the shifter handle, and has a spring that goes around it to pull it back into place. All this appears to be good, so if I can get the broken off bolt out of the end of the shifter handle, I ought to be able to fix it. Okay, we're back in the arcade fixing this dirty driving yank handle, and had to go to Home Depot to get a new bolt to put in it because the other one had sheared off. It's a standard 1/4 inch thread, but the length of the bolt was an 1.25 inches. And over at Home Depot and most local stores, you can't get an 1.25 inch long bolt. It goes from 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So what I did was I got the 1.5 inch bolt, and I got some washers. So I put a 1/2 inch, well, 1/4 inch worth of washers on it, and there's plenty of room for it to sit in there with the washers on it. So that should do the trick once I tighten it up. So we'll tighten it up and see how it works. Okay, so the bolt with the washers on it tightened up just fine, and so the crank is installed again. So now I can button up the control panel and people will be able to yank the crank again. Okay, we got the game booted back up and it's all ready. Got the crank handle shifter back on. Now everybody will be able to yank the crank. So now I have to do the hard part, is test the game, make sure it's working again. Since before, when I was getting ready to test it, I grabbed the crank handle and found out that it was broken off. So here we go. We'll put a token in each slot, make sure both slots are working, and pull the crank to start. And there we go. And pick a track. Now we'll pick a ride. And now let's start. And we're off. Let's yank the crank. And the game is working just like it should. So our job is done here at the arcade. Except we might have to run a few more test games through, make sure, double sure it's working correctly. But that's it for another edition of Arcade Fix. Have you had your arcade fix today? If not, get out to the arcade.